Welcome to this week's Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a really fascinating paradox. And honestly, it's a situation that is way more common than most organizations care to admit. We're talking about a scenario where you have absolutely perfect IT health, but zero business health. I mean, have you ever wondered how an entire organization can just completely grind to a halt while the technology dashboard looks totally flawless? Well, that is exactly what we're going to unpack today. To start off, I want you to picture a very specific but incredibly realistic scenario. Imagine it's Monday morning, it's about 8:15 a.m., you've just sat down with your coffee, and you pull up the executive dashboard. It looks incredibly reassuring. Nothing appears unusual at all. But down on the floor, it is pure chaos. The warehouse has suddenly stopped shipping, customer orders are beginning to pile up, regional managers are starting to call in a total panic, and naturally, the executives urgently gather in the crisis room. Now look at these metrics from the IT team. Everything is perfect. Cybersecurity, solid green. Cloud services, entirely healthy. Applications are responding normally, and all the backups completed successfully overnight. The dissonance here is just striking, isn't it? It's literally like driving a car where the stereo is blasting perfectly, the air conditioning is blowing ice cold, but the engine has completely fallen out. Your dashboards are just a sea of reassuring green, yet your business operations are entirely frozen. Literally everything is working except the actual business. So you're in that tense crisis room and someone naturally asks the most obvious, urgent question imaginable. Which system has failed? But here is the kicker. Nobody has an answer because every single critical system is still online. The IT team frantically checks the infrastructure. Nothing. Cybersecurity investigates. Nothing. The cloud provider? Healthy. Network, operational. Storage, available. So what exactly has happened here? Why is the business slowing down while the technology appears perfectly healthy? Well, maybe we've been looking for the disruption in the wrong place entirely. And honestly, this right here brilliantly illustrates the core mystery we're dealing with. On one side, your technology is perfectly healthy. The ERP is just humming along happily, the network is stable, and it's completely unaware that the physical warehouse is at a total standstill. On the other side, the business is completely frozen, with orders piling up and literally nothing moving. So let me tell you about what actually happened in this scenario. Every morning before products could leave a distribution center, one highly experienced operations manager reviewed the exceptional orders, and one Monday, she just wasn't there. Now, she wasn't approving invoices, and she wasn't operating the ERP or managing the infrastructure. Instead, she simply made dozens of small, absolutely vital business decisions based on years of operational experience. Just look at these constraints she managed: priority customers, export restrictions, special delivery constraints, regulatory exceptions. Nothing technical actually failed that morning. Zero technical faults. But nothing moved. Not because the technology had stopped, but because the business decisions had stopped. Okay, so here is the profound paradigm shift we really have to make. Notice that invisible relationship, that crucial web of interactions. You see, businesses do not create value just because servers exist. They create value because people, activities, decisions, approvals, business rules, and technology all work together in harmony. What disappeared that Monday morning wasn't an application. It wasn't a server. It wasn't even just a person. What disappeared was an operational capability. One invisible relationship had been broken, and suddenly the entire value chain just stopped moving. So how on earth do we actually map this out? Well, we follow the flow. Starting from the operational experts on the left, moving to the crucial decisions they make, going through the guiding business rules, and only then getting to the final supporting layer of technology. After analyzing numerous resilience programs, one observation just keeps appearing over and over. Most organizations understand their infrastructure remarkably well, but far fewer understand the operational relationships that connect everything together. We have to start asking different questions. Which activity depends on which approval? Which business capability relies on which decision? Which validation enables the next process to begin? Asking those exact questions fundamentally changes the way resilience is approached, and this observation gradually led to the development of the Ransom-Kick Resilience Model. It is absolutely crucial to understand that this isn't just some theoretical fluff or an abstract marketing concept. It's a natural evolution born directly from observing how organizations actually fail and recover in the real world. This matters immensely because it shifts the starting point of resilience directly to operational value creation way before you ever look at the technology that supports it. But once you start actually applying this in real life, a massive complexity challenge just explodes to the surface. Look at this tangled web. We're talking about hundreds of applications, thousands of operational dependencies, multiple business units spanning several different countries, and numerous cloud providers and suppliers. How do you actually maintain a real understanding of all this? Traditional documentation quickly hits a wall. Spreadsheets just multiply endlessly. Repositories become totally inconsistent. Architecture diagrams age out faster than you can draw them, and people end up developing completely different versions of reality. That recurring governance chaos naturally demands a structural response. And this is exactly where Archionis comes into the picture. Rather than being just another software documentation platform, it emerged objectively as the practical, structured environment required to apply this mindset within large, complex organizations. It exists simply to help organizations truly understand, visualize, and govern the operational relationships that actually create value. It brings order to that massive web of dependencies we were just talking about. Let's take a quick moment to reflect on this. I really believe operational resilience is entering an entirely new era. Protecting your infrastructure will always remain essential, for sure. Cybersecurity, cloud health, backups, they are absolutely critical, but they are no longer enough. The organizations that recover the fastest tomorrow will be the ones that understand themselves better today. Because as this quote captures so perfectly, resilience begins long before recovery. It begins with understanding. To really crystallize this, let's look at the formal definition. The Ransom-Kick Resilience Model is an operational resilience approach focused on understanding the mechanisms that enable organizations to continue creating value under disruption. Take a second to let that really sink in. It's entirely about protecting the value creation mechanisms, ensuring the business itself continues to function, not just ensuring that the technical assets are switched on. And to support that exact model, we have the environment itself. Archionis.app is a structuring, visualization, and governance environment designed to help organizations understand dependencies, business flows, critical validations, and value creation mechanisms. It gives teams the clear, structured visibility they actually need to manage true operational resilience in a really complex world, so you never have to guess what's broken ever again. For those of you who want to explore this methodology a bit further, you can visit www.archionis.app and www.ransom-kick.com. Also, keep in mind that new explainers are published every single week on the Archion Group YouTube channel. So here is your major takeaway for today. The next time an organization halts, don't start by asking which system failed. Instead, ask yourself, which operational capability have we just lost? The answer to that might completely change the way you think about resilience. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.